Hey, my name is Grant, and I want to talk a little bit about non-religious prayer and how powerful of a tool it can be if you're not a religious person. This isn't all about just like light and love and rainbows and everything's perfect, it's not at all about that. So if this is something you're interested in or you're a little skeptical about it, then why don't you watch it and see what happens? I grew up in a traditional religion and I learned about prayer. And honestly, I had some pretty powerful experiences with it. Even though I don't identify with that religion anymore, I've taken prayer with me. And with a lot of these religions, this isn't a knock on them. If you're a particular religious believer, that's awesome. Do what's right for you. But I know a lot of people aren't. So I want to show that there's incredible tools in these religions, like meditation, yoga, all these things come from these religious backgrounds, and prayer does as well. And prayer is such a powerful, potent tool. And it's something I kind of go to every once in a while. I don't do it all the time or anything, but just the last week I've been doing this little morning prayer and a little evening prayer. Really super simple, just to start my day and to end my day essentially. And man, it's been quite profound, quite incredible how awesome I've been feeling. Um, so basically in the morning, I just sort of one of the first things once I'm awake is it's hard to pray when you're still half asleep because you'll end up falling back asleep. Same as meditating in the morning. Sometimes I find it hard because you're like, whew. But just opening the day, for me, I call it source or, the universe or whatever all of this is. If you're an agnostic person, if you don't believe in anything, there's obviously something huge that we're all a part of here. This universe, whatever it is, or the earth. So I like to open it up saying like good morning to the sun, good morning to the earth, good morning to the universe, the world, source, all of it. I'm a single cell in this huge, massive thing, whatever it is. So I'm just acknowledging it, saying hello, what's up, welcome, and just being and I start, kind of just finding my breath a little bit, and then I just feel really grateful to be alive. So it's like I feel this gratitude. Wow, another day. And this is really important for me because a lot of times, especially during winter, I just get up. I'm like, oh my God, like gonna drink some coffee, like that's kind of what pulls me out of bed. And then I'm just like trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for the day. This prayer is like an intention setting, and it's I don't even say anything too big, but it's just like it just gets me in this real nice place where yeah, I'm thankful. I say hello to, and I also call upon any of my ancestors, any of my guides or anybody in whatever it is, for my beliefs, I believe there's a bit more going on, so than the reality that we see right in front of us all the time. So I call upon those things, those beings, those energies that are on my side, that want the highest good for me and the highest good for the people I love and the highest good for all. So that's the next thing I do after kind of calling on the divine or source or whatever it is. And then I talk to, those who are on my side, like who got my back. Like, let's go today. Let's get it right now. And so call them in with me, and I ask for protection. I ask for protection. And I always, this is the most important part of any prayer, I think, is that you always say for the highest good of myself and for the highest good of all. Because we all know some things we think we want aren't actually good for us. So we're only doing this for the highest good of ourselves and the highest good of all, because we don't want to compromise this whole thing because we're part of it. All these humans, all these people, all these plants, all these animals, this earth, it's all part of this big massive thing. So I don't want to mess with that. I want it all to flow in harmony, whatever that means. So as I'm trying to create here in this world, I want to create that harmony and peace. So highest good for myself, highest good all. And I ask for protection. And I think this is where why I've been feeling so much better the last week just from doing this is that, I do meditate a bit. I teach meditations what I do for a living. So I can tune into my body quite quickly. And I just sort of scan my body and just imagine this sort of energy, protective covering, even on the inside that it's happening. Okay, so when I'm praying, just meditating, asking for protection, my face, side of my head, top of my head, until I create this like barrier around my entire body. And it's not even like like a, oh my God, I'm in danger, I need to protect myself. It's just like a very gentle, very tuning into the body, but also inviting this sort of light, this sort of protection in there. And basically saying that anything that is not, any lower energies, any entities that aren't trying to help me, any type of vibes or anything that aren't helping me out, to just be like, can't come in, not going to be part of me. You're not allowed to be here anymore. And I think it's really powerful. It goes through my whole body till I sort of feel this like bubble, this force, and then also kind of enter it on the inside as well. So it goes through my organs, muscles, my brain, even, so that anything that might be in there that isn't serving me right now can just move on. And this isn't all about just like light and love and rainbows and everything's perfect, It's not at all about that. Just about starting your day. It's so funny. The first day I did this last week or whatever it was, I actually had a really like tough and emotional day, like different discussions and things and conversations that I had to work with, that it was a kind of a hard day. However, it was easy to get through that day. It was hard, but I was prepared to get through this day. So this isn't false positivity. This isn't like, I am all light and all these things and nothing can hurt me, because that's a dangerous thing to do. I actually embrace the darkness as well, because I'm half light and half dark, honestly, and I embrace both sides, and I walked the middle path for a long time, and it's the only path that makes any sense to me. So, because when we hide from our darkness, it comes up in these sort of nasty ways. And I think what's happening in the world is all this, darkness that we stuffed away collectively as humans is bubbling up to the surface. And I think it's all sort of coming out. And it's going to be a bumpy road as this keeps on coming out. So, especially when nighttime comes, when I close the day, I say, thank you for this day. Thank you so much. First, again, I just sort of tune into this sort of bigger consciousness, this wider thing, whatever it might be. Again, calling all my guides or whatever it is out there. I don't necessarily have like my guide, Michael, or whoever, whatever. I actually tap into that stuff too much, but I just trust and feel it, that things or ancestors have my back. Like I know that in a deep sense of the way, so I don't call in these specifics. It's more just a general, who's with me? Let's go. Thank you for this day. Thank you for looking out for me. Thank you to the sun for being here when it was. Thank you to the moon. Thank you for the darkness for being here as well. I'm not your enemy. I want to work with you to bring balance to these two forces, because I think the biggest turmoil we face in this whole world is these two energies that have been clashing. But really, like the yin and yang symbol, they're meant to go together as one. And I think that's what we're heading towards collectively as a human species. But it's going to be a bumpy road because there's a lot of shadow work to be done there, and it's hard old work. But this is just a little bit of talk about prayer, power prayer. Don't get lost in these words of source or God or whatever it is. Do what makes sense to you, At the very least, it's a very nice intention to be setting for the start of your day, and a very nice intention to close your day. And you kind of, in both of those prayers, I take like 5-10 minutes, nothing too big. Find a little bit of silence too, a little bit of silence in the morning, not thinking too hard, not praying too hard, just sitting there, getting yourself ready. So easy to jump out of bed and then just roll into the day. And then it's so easy to just shut your phone off and go to bed, and you got all this stuff going on there. So it's so nice to just take a moment and then reflect. Okay, what was good about my day? Oh, this was good. What did I learn? Not in like a real intense way, but just let the little things float up and integrate them. Okay, this was good. I'm going to take this into my soul, take this into my body, whatever it is. Again, use your own beliefs here. And if you are a particular religious person, if you're a Christian or Hindu or what, all these things can still work for you, it doesn't matter. So And then at night, what was hard about my day, a little bit. What was difficult? How could I have been not better, but how could I maybe have rolled with this experience a little better? What did I learn from this difficult experience? Maybe I'm not over this experience yet. Maybe I got to call somebody tomorrow to talk about something. It just helps because a lot of the times these things are just kind of floating in there and stirring in there. So with a little bit of consciousness, a little bit of awareness, it kind of like, even if there's things that aren't resolved, it kind of sets us up for the next day, because, okay, I see what I did today, this didn't work, so tomorrow this is what I have to try to do, and then you get up in the morning and then you reinforce that a little bit in your morning prayer and off you go. And man, I've been feeling wonderful. And like, not to say I've been feeling bad the weeks before, but it's like there's just something in my body that just feels so much more balanced right now, just from doing this super simple practice. 10 to 20 minutes a day total. 5-10 minutes in the morning, 5-10 minutes at night. So simple, and anybody can do this. And I encourage you to see what happens. Just try to get into this for a little bit. And yeah, it's helping me, so I just wanted to share it. Love you all so much. Namaste. God bless you. Take care. Bye bye.